Hello, this is Corey Mahaffey with Growth Services Group, and I'd like to thank you for taking a few minutes to join us for this webinar regarding the GSG Labor Supply Certification. Before we begin our webinar, let me share some information with you about Growth Services Group. GSG is a national workforce intelligence research and consulting firm located in Moberly, Missouri. GSG has clients in business, industry, and government, and was founded in 1994. GSG uses primary and secondary research for labor market analysis from the demand, supply, and commuting perspective. A comprehensive understanding of local labor markets requires analysis from the demand, supply, and commuting perspectives. GSG products include various types of analysis, including supply or available worker, looking at underemployment, skills availability, desired wages and occupation change, or the demand side, from an employer's perspective, the currently employed, the quality of skills, practices, and wages, or commuting, area comparisons of inflow and outflow of workers, sources, destinations, and distance direction. GSG products include data from primary and secondary sources, including from the supply side, from the available workers' perspective, a household survey is completed to analyze underemployment, skills underutilization, and desired wage. From the demand perspective, or the employer's experience, an employer survey is completed to analyze the quality of employees, skills needs, difficulty in hiring, and occupational wages. In a commuting perspective, government sources are used to analyze age, earnings, education, industry, inflow-outflow, characteristics by location. I'd like to share an excerpt with you from a recent blog I wrote entitled, "Are Labor Surveys Really Important?" Ever wonder why that other community consistently has success with existing business expansion, new entrepreneurial development, and new business attraction? Ever wonder why not our community? Ever have an elected official or someone from your nonprofit board question why your community didn't win that recent project? So what gives? According to the Area Development Magazine's 28th Annual Survey of Corporate Executives, the number 1 and number 3 ranked site selection factors are availability of skilled labor and labor costs. With this in mind, it's critical for communities to have an independent third-party workforce survey on hand that will certify the availability and detail the costs of your workforce. In other words, are you prepared to answer the most important questions regarding your workforce? What is it? Where is it? At what cost? And in what quantities? Site selection consultants don't want talk of labor quality, they want proof of labor quality. As I work with site consultants, they often mention their frustration with communities that do not have an independent labor survey on hand. In fact, according to Jim Renzis of the RSH Group, if a community does not have an independent labor survey on hand, and the ED professional does not know his or her workforce inside and out, Jim is not going to waste time making a visit. The community will be eliminated and may never know that they were. According to Renzis, labor is the paramount factor in the site selection process for 90+% of his projects. Workforce data is your competitive advantage. The ability to address the ongoing development and workforce needs of area employers, entrepreneurs, and stakeholders can be the difference between your community becoming the bridesmaid or the bride. Labor supply certification primarily deals with the availability of workforce by analyzing underemployment. A primary goal of any labor shed analysis is to estimate the potential availability of workers and determine how well the surrounding geographical areas are able to provide a stable supply of workers. A key source of good employees is the category of the underemployed, those individuals who are now working but desire a better job, and who possess the skills, education, and experience to qualify for better jobs. Understanding labor markets. Underemployment or underutilization of skills or experience is a significant issue for many communities and is an important element for employers assessing a community for location or expansion. Availability of highly skilled and experienced labor is among the top 3 important location factors for business. GSG's methodology provides for several key advantages in labor analysis. ALM analysis expands the pool of potential workers by including workers normally excluded from the civilian labor force. This also allows researchers to examine those individual members of the ALM pool who have a propensity to consider a job opportunity given their employment expectations. Employers are more likely interested in the population age segment 18 to 64 than in the entire CLF. Published government statistics report wages and employment for the entire labor of an area, even though most have no interest in changing jobs. GSG reports include data for those workers in the area who desire to change jobs and who would be potential workers for employers with the right opportunity. Whereas the BLS report average wages, the GSG report provides the number of available workers for an employer in various desired wage ranges, and includes the unemployed who are actively seeking work, as well as those who would enter the labor force under the right conditions or opportunities, including homemakers and retirees. Analysis starts with a focus on a central zip code, community, county, or multi-county region to determine the boundaries for the area to be assessed. Analysis can quantify those outside the central core willing to change jobs and to commute and work in the central core area. A random household survey is conducted with the goal to collect a sufficient number of valid survey completions from respondents 18 to 64 years of age. Validity of sufficient number of survey results to a confidence of plus or minus 5% is necessary, with query or drill down validity of plus or minus 10 to 15%. To ensure that an even distribution of respondents is achieved, a proportional number of completions are conducted by county population, age segments, and gender. Surveys determine respondents' gender, age, educational level, place of residence, and current employment status. Employed respondents also identify location of employer, not name, place of work, type of industry, occupation, years of employment in the occupation, employment status, current salary range, number of jobs currently held, and distance traveled to work. Employed respondents are then asked how likely they are to change employers or employment, how far they would be willing to drive for employment, the desired wage for them to change employment, and the benefits required for new employment. Underemployment is a key advantage. Underemployment is determined by examining those employees who stated they possess experience and additional education skills that are not utilized in their current position. Respondents in the 18 to 64 range self-identifying as working, unemployed, homemaker, retired, military, or student are asked a series of questions to determine what job characteristics and benefits were the most important for them when considering employment, the reasons for unemployment, and how far they would be willing to travel to accept employment. Employer types grouped in 3 categories allows employers to evaluate the labor and to view occupations from a work culture perspective as well as skills and experience. Labor supply provides a GSG exclusive advantage, a more disciplined approach in proportional survey completion in 3 demographics: county population, age, and gender. Analysis includes proportional respondents by 3 age groups, 3 worker availability subsets, and 3 non-worker availability subsets. Age has become an important indicator due to higher unemployment and underemployment rates in the younger age group and an aging workforce in the older group. The 6 worker and non-worker subset profiles shows how each of the availability subsets compare or contrast and show interesting comparisons by years on the job, willingness to commute one way, current average wage, desired average wage, household income, average age group breakout, male-female ratio, second job, only job part-time or temporary, no health insurance, no retirement benefits, educational attainment, and industry employment. Sophisticated data cross-tabulation allows for identification of unique challenges and opportunities only found in GSG products. Employment characteristics answers important questions about your workforce, like what is the total available workforce in the ALM? How many non-workers and worker available persons in the total available workforce are seeking different employment or are willing to change jobs? How many homemakers, retirees, and unemployed workers make up the non-worker available segment? What are the primary occupational clusters of the worker available workforce in the ALM? What percentage of the total available workforce are underemployed? What is the desired wage of those workers who would be interested in employment by occupation cluster? Or questions like, What is the educational level of the total available workforce? How far is the total available workforce willing to commute? How far does the current working population commute? What is the overall age of the total available workforce, or age of the worker available workforce by occupation cluster? What are the top motivators for changing jobs? What are the average numbers of years on the job? What percentage of the worker available workforce live inside the ALM but work outside the ALM? If you're interested in learning more about this product or other GSG products and services, please contact us via our contact information on this slide, our website, our phone, or our email. Or please follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter to learn more about Grow Services Group, and encourage others to do the same. Thank you for your time and interest in GSG Labor Supply Certification. For more detailed information and to view an actual copy of the product, please sign up today for a free live demo. Thank you for your time.